final long-awaited warm season in British Columbia is here with the sunny days. It is time to head out further from the home base to get the feel for the mini overland trip and explore a few new areas, previously unexplored, with a fire tower and waterfalls, as well as awesome camping spots. Well, finally it's long weekend and I took extra day off, so it's gonna be a nice 3 full days of hanging around in this area. Nice to meet you, man.
Finally get to bump into you. What a coincidence. Out camping, and here's the man that I subscribe a channel to. One of my favorite ones. So cool to meet you.
Yeah.
This is fantastic, and we got the beautiful day for it too.
And just like that, before I even had my morning coffee, a subscriber showed up. So there is something new I'm trying to do at campings from this point, is better, healthier eating habits. Kind of started doing it at home. And I actually got a small blender for me. Hopefully my 300 watt inverter is enough for it. But yeah, just instead of regular whatever foods, and no, I'm still gonna eat my noodles once in a while because it's my childhood food. But now smoothies and stuff. I used to do it 10 years ago when I was going through my spiritual awakening and spiritual development, sort of. That was before my marriage, and actually on that front, that's how I got married. That's what connected us. And actually, there's gonna be a video coming up. I reconnected with my ex-wife 5 years after divorce. We tried to be friends. Well, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the next video is likely gonna be about that, and it's gonna be definitely a very personal one. But yeah, so I'm just resuming kind of where I left off 10 years ago. Healthier eating, and healthier mind and healthier body. I do have a 300 watt inverter here. Let's turn this puppy on. Let's see what it can do for me here. And it does need lots of power beyond 300 watt. The inverter is shutting off. No, my plan failed. No, doesn't work. So guys, Jackery or Goal Zero or whoever, if you can send me one of your power stations, a bigger one, like a 500 watt one, I would greatly appreciate it. You can definitely find many uses, especially for living a healthy lifestyle out in nature, and many big trips. And actually, in the coming years, I'm planning to fly somewhere in Pacific on some remote island and do the survival thing for a couple of weeks. So for filming and everything, definitely would need a few solar panels for that, and a charging station. Send me one. Oh, good enough. Let's just do it this way. Really good music here happening. I didn't realize that virtually all campgrounds in the area are paid, and managed to dig out some change for the campground host. Usually I don't pay for campgrounds, I'm so not used to it.
I had to actually return to the closest town in the morning and to get the cash for the possibility of paying in the days to come. I had to backtrack to the closest town. However, in the full sunny glory, the road was quite enjoyable and picturesque, considering the loss of time. The next stop is the fire tower.
For those that follow me on Instagram, you guys may know that just recently I had a little other breakdown. Like I have exhaust leak manifold coming up at Big Country Customs change next week. As well, now got that. Oh, and I bent my cross member, and just recently my link to front sway bar snapped. So I actually had to remove it. So this whole long weekend I'm riding without one link to the sway bar, which is actually for bumps is pretty nice here, but I didn't even really feel it on the highway.
The road to the tower is rough, but with a bit of effort, even a stock SUV should be able to make it with proper tire placement, around mid-road ruts, if lockers aren't available, to prevent the spin of the wheels in the air. The climb up probably takes about 15 minutes. The tower is maintained by Four-Wheel Drive Association. It is one of the greatest communities in British Columbia that stands up for the rights of any outdoors recreation enthusiasts to be able to use public lands and trails for recreation. The organization counts about 50,000 members and continues to grow, and most of the effort is based on volunteer basis. It's a very tight community and people really help each other out. The Fire Lookout Tower is the landmark where people go every summer to enjoy spectacular view, some quietness, and it is maintained by volunteers from Four-Wheel Drive Association. Just as in the tradition of Mojave Desert postal box, the tower has some charming relics and a logbook for passerbys.
Well, let's leave the autograph here. Wow, my writing sucks. But then again, I tried to frame the camera. It is what it is. So, you know, people have been seeing me on Instagram with headphones on all the time. And they're like, well, why you have headphones on? I have a few questions like this pop up. Actually, when I drive around highways and whatnot, I listen to audiobooks. And once it gets off traily, kind of where you need a little bit more focus, I pop music on. Well, it was awesome to hang out here for a few hours, but now it's time to go down and see where I can stay for tonight, because I have no idea where I'm staying.
told you it's an official spot, official campground, but the view is actually amazing. I didn't actually catch your name. Andrew. Yeah, so he actually like, hey, you wanna check out this awesome spot here near me? I'm like, okay, let's go.
Backcountry Explorers.
What's that?
I have a YouTube channel, Backcountry Explorers.
Oh, that's what you. Okay, someone mentioned. Oh, there's Backcountry
Yeah.
Explorer. Yeah. The lake is long enough to have quite different vista views, camping in different spots each day, and gaze at new picturesque views. It is a small world, and for several days I kept bumping into subscribers of my channel. The night before, I ended up hanging out with Andrew from Backcountry Explorers and Mark, who I met the morning earlier. What an amazing day. It's been sunny for 3 days now, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna change. So the plan today is to go to waterfall, and I just got Garmin messages that 2 people are coming tonight. So my solitude is gonna be broken. A little bit change of plans, how it's gonna be. So I've always been wondering why people do tents on a track bed like this, because this essentially you have to take everything out fully, and then well, sure, you have a little bit of hard ground.
It's a pretty simple answer. Cost.
Well-
I want a 4-wheel camper ultimately, and I got sick and tired of having a tent on the damp ground, so I put a tent in the back of mine with a foamy, and when I go places like I just did now, I unclip it, throw it on the ground, drive around. When I come back, I just grab the tent with the help of Andrew here and throw it in the back and reclip it.
So
Done.
is it really just about the dampness on the
Yeah,
ground?
and then a big foamy in there. Yeah, exactly. Just to get off the ground. I'm so done with tents on the ground. I went for 6 days last summer with my son, and it was kind of just damp on the west coast, China Beach, all around that area. And day 5, day 6, I'm like, last day I ever sleep on a tent. And,
When you get older, you appreciate it more. Right?
Yeah. Well, he's got his nice little cozy
Yeah,
bed there.
That's why. Yeah, I don't have
soft as hell
tents
now.
for exactly that reason. I don't want to deal with ground tents
Exactly.
anymore. Or
The one
packing
thing I
it.
hate about it though, and this is with any tent, it's just the pack up and go. Like you shut the hatch and you're gone.
Yeah.
You know, you've just got to put your awning away and a couple things, you're gone.
Another day and another attraction. It was time to head out to see one of the greatest waterfalls in the region that doesn't require prolonged hiking and used to be drivable right up to it with a vehicle for some amazing photos. But a few years ago the access was closed to park right next to it.
this waterfall is definitely pretty awesome. I've seen better, but this is pretty damn good.
It was time to head out and meet some of the comrades.
So got that call from George and coming here, and apparently there's more people camping. They met at Boston Bar, nearby place, and like, oh my god, by the time I came here it was a bazillion of cars.
As it usually happens, some people were new, but some I have met previous year at camping. It is a different group from the regular off-road BBC Russian-speaking community group. It is an unusual circle of young software engineers. As usual, the Russian language unites us, but some of the people are from Ukraine, Belarus, Israel and many other places.
Улыбнись. Улыбнись, как ты улыбаешься, когда маму видишь. Well, this is it. Actually, all of these people came for just one night. Everyone's packing up. As for me, I think I'll return to the area of the falls and continue further, just to see what's out there, find like a quiet little corner where, you know, no one drives by. And it's gonna be my last day, pretty much. This weekend totally didn't go according to what I wanted to do, kind of chill out, you know, do some books, this and that. But I met a few people here, a few people there, some followers and Russian crew. So definitely unexpected, but in its own good way. Just a brief stop at the bridge. I bumped into those guys yesterday. We chatted at the falls. Back to familiar grounds. It's time to start writing. I've been slowly kind of writing some thoughts for my next video. I'm just gonna deploy on the beach. Just do some writing. Alright, so I got a little project here. This was the case that I've been using for my pad, which I got actually for writing music, but I decided, hey, how about I get a case with a keyboard so I can actually, like a laptop, start typing ideas and things like that. And this case came with this thing, so it's falling out. It's like bullshit. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna combine the two cases with some Gorilla Glue, because this thing doesn't fall out. Great. I'm just gonna detach this pin here and glue on this part of the case, so the keyboard goes here and I can close both things together. Little project, but it's gonna be the ideal case that I need. I don't know why they designed these things like this.
As much as group hangouts are great, and bumping yet into more subscribers of the channel, the time alone was yet again a welcoming part of the day. I was finally able to relax, catch up on the audiobooks that I wanted to finish, and as well as finally type out some of the thoughts that I had for future videos. The sunset that day was absolutely spectacular, just sitting there enjoying it by the lakeshore.
Well, that's it. See you on the next video.